In a quiet, sun-baked town called Willowbrook, there lived a boy named Ethan. He was a bright spark with dreams taller than the church steeple, but habits lazier than a cat on a warm windowsill. Every morning, his mother would call from the kitchen, urging him to get up and face the day. She would shout that the sun was already shining on everyone except him. Ethan would groan, pull the blanket tighter around himself, and mutter for 5 more minutes, which always turned into another hour of sleep. He often talked about becoming someone great. He admired the people in his small town who seemed to have their lives together. The shopkeeper who opened his store before dawn, the teacher who walked proudly to school each morning, and even the postman who never missed a day of work. But Ethan was different. He dreamed more than he acted. One day he'd decide to start jogging, the next he'd sleep in. One day he'd plan to study, the next he'd lie under the oak tree by the river, daydreaming about the future instead of building it. Ethan had dreams, yes, but no discipline. One cool evening, while wandering down the dusty road at the edge of town, Ethan met Mr. Harris, an old retired soldier who lived in a modest cottage surrounded by a small garden. Every morning, like clockwork, Mr. Harris was up by 4:30. He would clean his porch, stretch, read the newspaper, and tend to his flowers. Ethan had watched him for days, puzzled by his routine. He wondered why someone with no boss, no deadlines, and no one to impress still followed such strict habits. Finally, one afternoon, curiosity got the better of him, and he asked Mr. Harris why he followed the same routine every single day and if it ever got boring. Mr. Harris smiled kindly and said that habits are like seeds. What you plant today is what you will live on tomorrow. You may not see anything growing yet, but one day, your habits will either feed you or starve you. Ethan didn't fully understand, but those words stayed with him. That night, he lay in bed, unable to sleep, thinking about everything he had started but never finished. He wondered if success was not about luck at all, but about the small things a person does every single day. The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Ethan forced himself out of bed. His eyes felt heavy, and his body begged him to sleep again, but he remembered Mr. Harris's words. He splashed cold water on his face, laced up his old sneakers, and stepped outside into the cool dawn. He started to jog, but within minutes, he was gasping for breath, feeling as though he'd run miles. Still, he refused to stop. He walked, jogged, and stumbled through it, and when he finally returned home, sweaty and exhausted, something inside him felt different. He felt proud. Day after day, he pushed himself. Some mornings were easy, most were not, but he kept going, one small habit at a time. Slowly, he began to change. He woke earlier. He studied with focus. He helped his mother in the shop without being asked. The once lazy boy was becoming responsible, steady, and confident. Mr. Harris often watched him pass by his gate in the early morning and smiled to himself, whispering that the seed had started to grow. Weeks turned into months and years passed. Ethan's consistency shaped him into someone entirely new. His habits, once his weakness, had become his greatest strength. Ethan became one of the most respected teachers in Willowbrook. He inspired young minds, teaching them not only lessons from books but lessons from life, the value of persistence, discipline, and the power of habits. Whenever people asked him about his success, he would smile softly and say that it all started with one morning, the morning he stopped saying 5 more minutes